Evening, World Wide Web. This is James, your favorite ticker picker, back with another update video on AMC Entertainment Holdings. And it's dead. Is it variable? Is it fixed? What's going on with this? We're going to find out for you real quick. Number one, the 11.44 billion with a B dollars in debt. $2 billion of that are bonds. They sold bonds and they pay currently the rate of 16% interest to the bondholders. It's a high risk bond at this point because the company was teetering on edge and interest rates are ridiculous. So between those two things, and they're just raising rates again next, at least twice more this year is what Jerome Powell is saying. Maybe at least once this year, maybe twice more. So that 16% is going to turn into 18% soon, basically. So $2 billion of it is just living in unbearable debt. The other 9.44 billion of it is fixed debt at a monthly payment of 10.5 to 7.5 interest rate. Making that payment will pay down their debt over time. That's for their locations. That's their fixed debt. The rest of it is the variable debt. That's the real crazy debt is the $2 billion. They need to make that go away immediately, and they should also chew away at a good chunk of their 10.5 if they can. They should try to get that thing redone and try to pay off a couple of billion of it or something and lower the monthly payment. But I'm coming up with a quarterly payment, interest only. They're saying $750 of $1 billion annually, but they can't just go interest only. They're on fixed with most of this. They do have to pay some principal also to pay these locations off in 30 years or 50 years or whatever the loan was for. They can't just do interest only. They don't do those here in America. In Great Britain, they do, and you can get a nice house there for nothing. No monthly payment, barely at all. You're like, where to go? Well, where's that? What do you mean my payment's $200 a month? I don't understand. This is a really nice house. Yeah, they got a whole different system over there. Here, where we actually have to pay for our houses in 30 years, not just get the option to buy it in 50 years or 30 years. It's a lot different. How did I end up talking about that? But yeah, the 10.5, a good chunk of that needs to go away. And they currently spend approximately $360 million a quarter just on their payments to this debt. So if they can alleviate half of that by getting rid of the expensive half of that, by getting rid of a quarter of their debt, for instance, maybe 4 billion would be about the right number. That would chop your debt payment in half. That would mean you're, instead of needing to do 1.3 billion to get the black every quarter, now you only need to do I don't know, we'll chop your payment in half, 160. Take 160 off of that. So now you only have to do 1140. You do 1140, you're in the black. Much better situation, and I might even be able to do better than that. They might be able to do better than that if they want to raise more money than that. There's a lot of debate where the dilution's at. Is it coming before on the APE side? Some people think it's coming afterwards. Yet you're openly admitting, so many of you, that it's happening at some end. I don't care if it happens before or after. They clack them together and multiply it by 10. If they're going to do that and minus another dilution, a fresh dilution, not the billion that we already suffered through, not the billion that's already adjusted through, not the $18 to 4 that we already went through, but another dilution of any sort is just unbearable. That's just going to send this thing obviously tanking, and then they're going to multiply it times 10. But they need $4 billion. There's only one people they can pick on, and they're going to get them to pay for it, and then we're going to pay for it. Please watch my other videos where I fully explain the whole thing repeatedly. But yeah, some of us are on a different page as to how it plays out. But why are we asking ourselves, when do we want to hold this? How do we want to play this? Um, Everybody seems like a stockholder of something they know is going under. Now, I want you to be a stockholder through earnings and clean up this earnings season. But man, this is getting really sketchy over here. They're going to dilute the only thing they can, which is the APE, in my opinion, and then convert it to AMC to eliminate them and their voting powers. And there will be no more APE. There'll be a forgotten vessel that was used for dilution purposes. And we're all going to have 1/10 of the AMC shares that we used to have. And they're going to be worth about the same price afterwards. I'm of the contention he needs $4 billion to make the final play. And that's going to be the final chapter of how much money he needs to write this company. And that money is coming out of the stockholders. It's not coming from any other place. He didn't get some credit line. He didn't save it up from issuing the billion shares of APE. Heck, he gave away 517 million of them for free. He gave them as dividends to all the AMC shareholders of record at the time. And he did that probably to get them vested in it, to try to make them feel like owners of both, to make them feel special, to make them feel like they had two holdings. It was just worthless pieces of paper at the time. He sent you all 519 million of them, and they gained a price tag somehow, and people wanted them also. And he kind of started a little viral thing with that. And then he was able to, I guess, issue another 500 million of those and sell them for probably premium prices at that point. It was probably a pretty good play, and he got himself through 2022. But yeah, he got the AMC people kind of tie. He wanted to tie them all together. He didn't want APE versus AMC. He wanted AMC and APE to be the same person to some degree, and they were to some degree, except for the ones that sold it. I guess they had the chance to own half of it at one point. At least. For the ones that sold it, I guess that's what really lost control to the arbitrage player. But yeah, they're going to need to raise the extra $4 billion. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to do dilute you before. Some of you say after. Everyone says they're going to do it. That means this thing is going to go El Destructoville. Hopefully well after the earnings. I really want to enjoy this earnings season, so just leave me alone. Halfway through August, I'm going to quit doing videos on this one, except for to cheer it upwards as it goes. And but we all know what the big picture is. It is going to be Armageddon in the end. Get out after earnings, watch the fireworks, do some put options all the way up. Take some of your winnings from AMC, hopefully on earnings, and switch it over to a put option for January, because you're about to see fireworks once she clacks this gavel. You're going to see all kinds of shit unwind and things go 1 for 10 and get diluted by 4 billion extra shares first. And just the shock and awe is going to amaze people. And then all the apes trying to run. That's going to be the fun coup de grace out of the whole situation. You'll have the shorts laughing, the apes trying to run, and then the shorts won't be laughing anymore. I'm sure there'll be something coming for them too to wipe that smile off their faces. They're going to get a kick out of this for a while. But yeah, this isn't going to go down well. And yeah, AMC, everybody. That's their interest rates. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Like the video and subscribe.